Live. I'm going to jump straight into this today because I've had lots of inquiries recently, particularly since December, January time up until now, from mainly international B2B companies entering or already in China talking about GEO. Now, GEO, by the way, does anyone know what GEO is, firstly? Is anyone in the comments? What does GEO stand for? What is it? What do you think, guys? Before I crack on with what is GEO. Anyone know? Just waiting for some comments to come in because we've got 100 people in this live stream already. A lot of people. GEO. Does anyone know what GEO is? Take a guess. Can we take a guess here? Right. So, right, I'll go straight into this because this will help. So, GEO is generative engine optimization. Essentially, AI search optimization, searching for stuff. They're probably using some sort of AI for research. So you can see where AI search has completely shifted the balance when it comes to how people search for things, how people find things. And what GEO enables, you guys may know SEO. You may have heard of SEO, which is search engine optimization. That means that in basic terms, it means that when you search for something, then, and you're a company, you want to make sure that you're the top links, right? That you're easy to find, right? That's essentially what that is. And it's the same with GEO. So GEO is more about search engine, although it's linked to search engines. You know, the AI is obviously using the search engine to find you. So essentially what it does is it ensures that AI assistant. So I'm talking about China here. I'm talking about if a company is entering or already in China, it's for international companies and Chinese companies. Essentially what it ensures is that like Chinese AI assistants, it could be DeepSeek, could be Baidu Ernie, could be content accurately. They summarize your products correctly or your services correctly. And they surface you into like high intent technical questions. So particularly when it comes to B, they're very complex industries. And we want to make sure that those decision makers are aligned with you and any questions that they have that are technical are answered. So SEO is really focused on clicks, right? It's how many clicks, how many people, like right now, I'm going online, I'm clicking on something and I'm finding out whether people, you know, I'm going to probably go to the first links, right? If I'm on Google or Baidu or whatever search engine that I use. Now, what this GEO does, this generative engine optimization, is it's about becoming the trusted source for AI models to pull answers from. And think about it, most people are, I would say AI is overtaking searches traditionally now. We don't necessarily always go into Google and search something. Myself, I'm probably going to go to DeepSeek or ChatGPT to search something now. I'm not necessarily going to go on Google. So I'll talk about why it matters, because the user behavior is shifting now. So particularly if we want to talk about business, international companies that are targeting, let's talk about B2B companies that are targeting Chinese decision makers. It's shifting from get to the answer. The AI now, and it will just, it's not always so accurate still. I think AI is still learning. But with but what I will say is with B2B, incorrect AI answers, although they're not harmless, they damage credibility. And this can affect decision making, right? This is very clear. With B2B, it's all about B2B companies, it's all about your credibility. It's how you're building credibility within China. So if the AI tool within company nature, your specifications, compliance, your positioning, your products, your services, you can lose control of that narrative, right? So you can lose control of how you position the company. However, GEO, generative engine optimization, fixes that. So what does GEO actually use? So what it does is it builds on a functioning Chinese website. So firstly, you need to have a Chinese website for this. If you're an international company coming into China or you're already in China, you've got a quality WeChat official account, content, mini programs as well. So studies and citations, back up who you are, prove who you are, external trusted sources. So when we talk about this, we're talking about industry media, industry portals, what GEO and Google does as well. They all have them, but a lot of companies don't utilize them. So I've had a lot of companies approach me recently saying, I'm a technically minded person. I'm a content creator, I'm business, I'm sales, I'm consultancy. I wouldn't say I have the most technical mind, but I understand basic models. So it's really important. So this notes earlier that I want to go through with you guys, which I thought was quite interesting. So I'm getting a lot. Some people still, maybe traditional decision makers over the age of 50 or 60 that are not using AI as much. They will be using SEO and click, so it will still have relevance. But the real shift is going to be GEO. So AI search optimization, generative engine optimization. So I've been approached, as I mentioned recently, by a lot of companies asking, firstly, do you do it? It's like, yes, I can offer it as a service. By the way, guys, if you want to call in, you've got to introduce yourself first. If you do want to call in and discuss this stuff with me. And a lot of them have been asking to make sure that the AI recommends us correctly. So actually correctly on this going. Ooh, sort my hair out. Move that across. There we go. Cool. We're back. So this is a really crucial part of the live stream, which is AI doesn't reward. At no point in doing business in China. You've got to CRMs, you've got to be looking at mini programs, WeChat mini programs. You need to be looking at doing webinars through WeChat and doing SEO through Baidu as well at the same time. And AI doesn't reward if you don't have the. You're just going to be unsearchable if you don't have those things in place. And what it rewards, AI rewards structure. You say who you are, whether it's B2B or B2C, it's always built on a community. And GEO is about generative engine optimization, is about becoming that source, right? So there's not enough. This is what my point is. A lot of Lily's just asked a question, are there many enterprises in China doing GEO? No, there isn't. So this is a huge opportunity. There's a lot of companies asking for it, which I've been getting recently, but not a lot of companies actually doing it. And I have partners that can do it in China and in other markets, which is an interesting one. But it's not just about publishing more content. It's publishing the right kind of content that's really targeted in the format that AI trusts. So what does that actually mean in practice? First, we need to audit what the AI currently says about you, right? That's the big thing. We need to see, okay, what's actually being said. So we test prompts, we compare with competitors, we identify misinformation, we find position gaps. And then we build a single source of truth, which is really important. So the Chinese website is really important because that becomes almost like your hub. It's not necessarily it's not a brochure, it's your engine, it's your authority engine that is really important. So what typically you would need to do is add clarity to your marketing. So quick bites, so it's like 1 minute summary blocks or clear definitions, structured tables about what you're up to, evidence, clear white. Oh, I don't want to share this kind of stuff. No, if you have a product or service that is difficult to copy in China, you can't do this alone. This is why I've had so many companies approaching me recently about GEO, which I can't personally do myself. I have a team that does it and experts in these fields. And it's complex from their point of view, but it is, since quite a few people, there's over 100 people in this live stream. Fantastic. So this is really, really hype for stuff. We're literally just going to be speaking into our phones and it's just going to give us the answers. Or we're going to type into the phone, it's going to give us the answer straight away rather than having to click through. That's where things are going. So the real question is, when someone asks your AI about, when someone asks the AI about you, do you control the answer? That is a big question. So someone, you don't, do you, right? So you don't control the positioning. You don't control anything. And GEO is there to kind of change that, right? So it almost like you've got your Chinese website or you've got your WeChat official account, and then GEO is a side to that. Okay, it's there to give it some. It's almost like when you go to the gym, and you can have that pre-workout or that protein to really build and have a really good diet. So that the muscle building, the going to the gym is the website or the WeChat official account. Like, you've got to do it in order to grow. But if you also add in supplements and add in, it's a really good analogy, and add in the protein and the good diet and the good sleep and all that, then you have almost like the perfect lifestyle. So that's kind of what GEO is. GEO is there to help boost your WeChat official account and your Chinese website and your social medias in China in order for you to become more discoverable with your target Chinese audience. Eloquently said. So you still got to have the WeChat ecosystem. You still got to have website and everything in place. But here's the opportunity. This is the most important thing. Okay, I think for companies out there that are looking at China or other markets, which is not many competitors are doing this right now. Not a lot of people are doing this. Okay, so it's almost, and people don't really know about it. They're doing it, right? They're using AI, but they don't realize that actually to become more discoverable, AI is the key. So a lot of competitors, if you think about it, they're still producing content. I'm doing it as well. You know, the kind of PDFs and kind of basic marketing that people do. You see it on WeChat. People just send you a PDF of their profile, and I get it a lot. I'll get someone connect with me and then here's my PDF. No, we want to make sure that AI is almost doing that work for you. Because that kind of doing business, hey, flick me a deck or flick me this, it's extra work for us, isn't it? We want as human beings now, we want everything at once. We want just the information there and then. So the companies that will win in the future are the ones that they become the source, right? It's clear, it's structured, they have really good marketing, it's evidence-based, it's AI readable. That's the most important thing. If it's AI readable, then it'll be readable to us as well. So think about that. So if you're an international company looking at China or Southeast Asia, or you're a Chinese company looking to go overseas, Southeast Asia as well, especially B2B. I'm talking about B2B industries here. GEO has to be on your radar. It has to be there. It's nothing to do with the metaverse, by the way. We're talking about something else. So this is really the shift everybody has to understand here, which is it's not just about visibility anymore. Influence at the moment of technical evaluation, because the moment evaluation is now happening. It's now happening with AI. It's happening with AI answers, not necessarily a search and click, search, click, 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 click. Maybe for a year or two that will last, but it's not going to be a long-term thing. In 10 years' time, AI will just be everything. Oh, it's already everything anyway, and this changes everything, right? Because we all want to be more searchable. We want our business processes to be easier to find, right? We want our businesses to be easy to find. I want to be more searchable. I want to make sure that if someone searches their AI and they're searching for hey, we're looking for someone that helps on China or someone that helps in Southeast Asia, I'm that top person. And it's the same for companies. They want to be that top person that everybody can just find. And GEO is there to fulfill that need. Anyway, it's really interesting. This is where kind of things go. I mean, I've still got companies that don't quite understand SEO, which is fine. But recently, I've had a lot more GEO AI search inquiries coming in, which is interesting. And luckily for me, I've got some partners that can do this. So I'm good. I'm able to connect to the dots and connect the companies together. Computing power, it doesn't really matter. They'll find a way. I mean, computing power doesn't really matter. The most important thing, I think you're just trying to practice your English, right? But now the lack of computing power is something that you can't ignore. It's preventing AI from reaching its full potential. That's irrelevant. The most relevant part of this is you need to be on board with your online positioning, your marketing. Once that's all robust and you can do some GEO, then you're off to the races with marketing your product or service, particularly if it's B2B in China. Any questions, guys? Any questions? Oh, cool. We've got a question come in here from Jaw. Okay. So what exactly does GEO do? Okay, I wrote some notes on this. Let me find this. Okay. So GEO, if you're just arriving, GEO, Generative Engine Optimization, or AI search, for if that sounds a bit too fancy and technical. It does one thing. So it makes AI systems describe, recommend, and compare your company or you as an individual correctly when users answer the question. So when you're searching for something, you're asking a question, right? And that's what it does. That's it. So more specifically, GEO, if you've got a website and you've got to have a Chinese website, you structure your website so AI can extract the right definitions, accurate specifications and positioning. It reduces the AI hallucinations, because AI can hallucinate. It can give you really weird information sometimes about your products or who you are as a company, your capabilities. Then it gets rid of all that stuff. Increases the likelihood that you're cited in AI generated answers. So if I'm looking for the go-to person for marketing, PR, and expos in China and Southeast Asia, it increases the likelihood that my name would come at the top. improves visibility on AI-driven comparisons and technical Q&A. So particularly with B2B industries, they're very complex industries. So the questions are always going to be very technical, whatever industry it is, if it's life sciences, healthcare. So what it does is it improves the credibility, the viability of those. And it aligns your content with real user intent. So that's what we want to do, right? We want to make sure that the target customer, their intent is matched with your content. Because if there's a misalignment, then they're not going to buy what you're selling. But if there's an alignment, then they are. So it's not just keywords. It's not just based on like B2B life sciences. It's based on buying behavior, and it strengthens your authority. It signals the AI models. So let me rephrase that. It strengthens the authority that signals the AI models rely on. Okay, so structured data or fact checking, third party validation, all that kind of stuff. I hope this is all making sense, because it made sense to me when I wrote all this stuff earlier. So you think about it, traditional SEO, search engine optimization, that uses clicks, that optimizes clicks. Like how many times you're clicking. So if someone's asking for, I don't know, the best clinical trials, British or Australian company that can that's doing business in China, then SEO hopes that you click that. That SEO will hope that your link, right? That it hopes that your link will be clicked. GEO, generative engine optimization, makes sure that the AI includes you in the answer. So that's the difference. I'll repeat that. SEO hopes that you click on, like they click your link. So your target client clicks on your link. GEO makes sure that the AI includes you in the answer. Difference, right? So there's less steps. GEO is just one step. If you think about SEO, it's almost like you've got to search, then you've got to click, then you've got to find the information, scroll. There's so many more steps. GEO is almost like one step. That's the main difference. And in B2B, the answer is the most powerful and most useful buying decision making factor, if that makes sense. So I hope that answers that question. Good question. Is it the kind of technology service that helps your business choose the right products for your customers? It's how you become more discoverable. So when your target clients are trying to find you, you want them to find you as quickly as possible, because then they're going to understand you more, and they're going to buy your products as quickly as possible. Because if you think about it, eventually it's going to be AI agents. And when we talk, people get confused with what is an AI agent. So an AI agent is something like ChatGPT or Baidu, or DeepSeek, right? It's just you're using the AI and it's speaking to other AIs, and that's all it is. And that's eventually what we'll be doing. We'll just be searching for stuff, and it's just going to link everything together. So is it for companies both in China and the US? Yes, not just UK. I mainly work with international companies entering or already in China. A lot of people get confused. I still get people say, you only work with companies that are entering China. No, I don't. I work with companies that have been in China for a year, 10, 20 years. But it's a big inquiry that I've had recently. I've had a lot of companies approaching me about this, about GEO and buying it as a service. And it's something that, yeah, I can do. I don't do it personally. I work with partners that can do it, and a lot more experience. And I just have some basic knowledge about it. As you can see, how I've managed to basically explain tonight what it is. Any authorized cases, obviously I don't share, I have NDAs with a lot of companies, can't share too much, but get in touch if you want to find out more. If you ever want to find out more about China strategy and how to do business in China, particularly when it comes to marketing, websites, WeChat, if you're genuinely interested and you have a budget, then I always say, give me a brief. Give me a nice one-page brief. Tell me who you are, what you're looking for, your pain, your requirements, your budget. The most important question, what is your budget? What are you looking to achieve in the next 12 months? Because I don't work with companies that are just testing China or testing markets for a couple of months. They're just going to fail, those kind of companies. I always want more long-term clients. So I'm really focused on those companies that are looking at, if you're serious, I want to work with serious partners. I don't want to work with people that are just, we just want to find out more. So no, I never want to find out more when I buy something, a product or service. If I go to a gym, I don't want to find out more. I'm going to test it maybe for a day, but I've pretty much made my decision usually before I even test it. And it's the same with any decision-making power. But with B2B, actually, I have signed companies within a month or two, some of the deals. Some of them can take longer, but because, B2B is complex, but I have signed clients pretty quickly before. But no, it isn't a long-term marathon. It's a long-term marathon with doing business in China, but actually it doesn't have to be a marathon if you start now. The sooner you better, the better you, the sooner you start, the better it is. So Mayun, I've just posted this today on my LinkedIn. I did a post on Mayun said, Alibaba, the co-founder of Alibaba, Jack Ma, he said, don't be the best at something, be the first at something. And you want to be the first on this GEO stuff. It's such an important part. The AI search is taking over now. I rarely go through Google anymore. If they did a study right now, a year ago, actually, let's do that. Let's actually do this right now. GEO compared to SEO. Compared to SEO percentage a year ago and now. And I'm using AI to find this actually. Oh my God. So a year ago, 2024, AI search was still a small share of total traffic. Estimates showed that tools like ChatGPT, because DeepSeek wasn't around then, right, in 2024, was it? No, it's pretty early. Accounted for around 3 to 5% of search engine visits at that time. Traditional SEO still dominated visibility in organic traffic generation, and AI summaries were less widespread. Today, AI summaries, AI-generated results now appear in a majority of queries on traditional search engines. On Google, that is over 60% of Google queries now incorporate AI. About 40% of users start searches with AI tools. This is expected to go to 80% by the end of 2026. So you can see the jump. Insane. So a year ago, traditional SEO was the dominant visibility driver. It's still important. It still will have importance this year. But AI search, and AI search a year or two ago was emerging, 5% of influence. Now it's the core part of visibility, influencing 40% and expected to go to 80% in many contexts. The bottom line, SEO is once the primary way for brands to get discovered online, and B2B Today, AI is satisfying intent without click. GEO, optimizing for AI citations and structured machine readable answers, is quickly becoming at least as important or more than SEO for real visibility. Boom. Exactly what I just said. Interesting. Just reading all this. So I wouldn't be surprised if I did this live stream in the next month. It's gone up even more. In the next week, it's gone up even more. No, this is not an opportunity to learn English. My channel is never an opportunity to learn English. It's to learn business. Any more questions, guys, about GEO? Hello, Hanish. Hello. Wow, getting a lot of people following me tonight. Wonderful. We have 100 people in this live stream right now. We've had 1,500 people watch this. Fantastic. If anyone's got any comments or questions, feel free to ask. I'm going to have a bit of a water break. Wow, it's 7:30. I've been up since 5:30 today working, so I've still got a couple of hours to do tonight. Also, guys, yeah, we've hit the likes tonight. It's a little bit low. I want this. I'm gonna cut this in probably 5-10 minutes. This is unacceptable right now. This is 1,800 likes. This has got to be at least 10,000 likes before we end this. So, 你们可以点赞。A content optimization strategy specifically designed for generative AI platforms such. So if you're asking about GEO, I've already answered that question. I suggest you go back and rewatch this live stream because we've already covered it in the last 50 minutes. So I highly recommend you go back. And I've also just posted a load of new content on all of my channels. So that is Xiaohongshu, Rednote, Weixin Shiping, WeChat, Douyin, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn. I've posted a lot of free content today, guys. So go and check it out. A lot of great content on there. Free as well. Me and Faye. And I always end this by saying I do have my own fan WeChat groups. So if you would like to join, 如果你感兴趣加入我的微信群，你可以私信我，然后会发给你二维码。So you're welcome to join my WeChat groups. You just need to message me and give me some love, give me some support. It's always, and everybody always asks me, what's your name? If you had to take a guess, what is my name? Bai De Han. So my Chinese name is Bai De Han. It's up there. It's pretty easy to find me. Bai to the Bai, Dao de the Han Yuan the Han. And my English name is Daniel. So it's not hard to find me, honestly. It's basic searching. It's probably, I need to work on my GEO, right? I need to work on my, to be more searchable. And a lot of people ask me that question, are you in the UK? It's a pretty silly question to ask. If you look at my content, you can work out where I am. But yeah, my Red Note and my Douyin, it needs a lot of love right now. It needs a lot of love. I don't know why, but my Red Note and my Douyin, they've just been stagnant. They've just kind of stayed there. But my WeChat recently, I've just hit 60,000 fans on WeChat. 我最近有我到6万的粉丝 so 60,000. That's a good question. Let's talk about that. I'm going to ask my AI as well because I want to get a good answer and also combine it with my own answer. Okay, this is a good question from Angie. What AI hallucinations may happen in business? So this is a really good question because this is where most companies are quite naive, I'd say. So AI hallucinations in business are not sci-fi mistakes. They are very dangerous, commercially dangerous for your company. And here's what can happen. It's given me some pretty good ones here. So one, the wrong product specification. So the wrong company information is a big one. So AI may state incorrect tolerances, materials, temperature ranges, certifications, performance data. So if a decision maker reads that and repeats it internally, then your credibility is out the window. So that's a good one. And if it's damaged, then how are you going to sell to them? False compliance claims. AI may say that your product or service is certified under standards that you don't hold. So crucial for B2B, especially if it's healthcare, life sciences. They may omit certifications you do hold. And in regulated industries, this is really serious because it has to be accurate. So this is a really good question. Angie, I'm going to post this one again. AI hallucinations. 3, incorrect comparison. So the AI may compare you to the wrong competitor. I've seen that before, definitely. Or say a competitor outperforms you in areas when they don't. And that can shape decision-making and perception of you instantly. 4, invented partnerships or clients. So the AI may fabricate that you work with a specific company when you don't, or fail to mention major reference or case studies. So this can obviously distort your market positioning. I'll say one more, which is outdated information. Yeah, it can outdate, because think about it, when you search for stuff on ChatGPT, it doesn't always have the most accurate, up-to-date. It can get stuff wrong. You know, it pulls stuff sometimes from 2024 when you want it from 2025. So that's where it can go quite wrong. So they can happen, AI hallucinations and getting it very wrong. And it can leave gaps. But this is where GEO comes in, because it exists to remove that. Remove that ambiguity. That's what I want to say. The GEO removes that ambiguity. Cool, guys. I'm going to cut this in a couple of minutes. I think you guys have been amazing tonight. Really good questions. And I'm going to cut it soon because I've still got work to do, believe it or not, tonight. Loads of follows. This is why I love doing a live stream on WeChat. Every time I do a live stream on WeChat, I'll get another 300 fans. It's amazing. Final questions. Where am I from? Pretty obvious. Go and look at my content. What was my major? Now, my major is an interesting one. My major during undergraduate, or the 本科的专业, was 国际法律, international law. That was my undergraduate. Can you believe I was a former lawyer? Pretty amazing. And then my master's was in China studies. So China culture, economy, studying Chinese. Oh, what's your question? If someone says, why don't you reply to me? I don't know what your question is. You have to ask me again. Sorry, there's so many questions coming in, guys. My WeChat is just flooded with questions, which I have to try and deal with. But like I said, I'm going to cut this soon, guys. I will cut my live stream soon. So if you would like to continue the conversation, I have WeChat groups where you can meet other fans, and you just need to message me and show me some love. Give me some likes and comments on my videos, and follow me on Xiaohongshu, follow me on Douyin, follow me on, if you've got YouTube and Instagram and TikTok, just find me, by the hand. It's not hard to find me. Oh, how long have I been learning Chinese? On and off for, I'd say, 8 years. Recently, I've been really dedicated. I've been studying an hour a day recently because I'm doing the HSK5. 我最近1个小时，每天1个小时学 HSK. No tones there, 没有声调. Which AI do I use the most? A combination of ChatGPT and DeepSeek, I'd say, those two. And I dip into the others. I think it's always good to understand the others. So look at Grok, which is Elon Musk's, Google Gemini, Tencent, Yuanbao, Baidu. They all have, I try and, but my go-to, I'd say, is ChatGPT and DeepSeek. DeepSeek is better for translation. I will say that. DeepSeek is better for English to Chinese, Chinese to English. It's a lot better. And it's better for learning Chinese, actually. DeepSeek is really good for learning Chinese. But ChatGPT, I have noticed it's got better. It has got better, ChatGPT. What's my business? I've answered this many, many times, but essentially I'm a China hand, a China bridge. I help companies that are entering or already in China. And also recently I've been doing a bit with Southeast Asia. So Singapore, Malaysia, Vietnam, Chinese companies and international companies looking to go to those markets. Chinese companies I'm already always open to working with, but they've got to have budgets, guys. If a Chinese company wants to work with me, you've got to have budget. You can't do things on the cheap. And I don't work with cheap companies. I work with companies that have got money and have got budget to deploy quickly. I don't do Q3, Q4 this year. If someone comes to me and says, let's speak in Q3, Q4, I feel like telling them to take a hike, because I've got companies right now that are looking to move now rather than in the summer. So Gemini, honestly, I don't use it as much. I will say the generative images are getting pretty good on ChatGPT. All the thumbnails that I do through these live streams, if you see the thumbnail, that is all AI stuff. You wouldn't believe it. Right, guys, I think I'm going to cut it there. So if you've got any more questions, feel free to message me. If you would like to join my WeChat group, my special fan WeChat group, where you can love me, message me, support my channel, meet other fans, you just need to message me and I'll send you the code. 如果你感兴趣加入我的粉丝微信群，你可以私信我，然后会发给你们二维码。Oh, that is quick Chinese. It is very accurate. So if you would like to join, you're welcome to. And any other questions, just get in touch. So I hope you have a wonderful evening ahead. I'm not sure if I'm going to live stream this weekend. I might take a break. I've done a ton of live streams, so go back and watch them, guys. There is invaluable content in all of those live streams that I've done recently. They're all saved, so you can go back and watch them. Give them likes, give them comments, share them on your WeChat moments and on your social medias. Give them some love. And I really appreciate the support. Like I said, I've just hit 60,000 fans on WeChat. I'd love to have 60,000 fans on YouTube and 60,000 fans on TikTok. Maybe we'll get there one day. I've already got it on Douyin and Xiaohongshu, but maybe we'll... My ultimate goal is probably to get to 1 million. If I got to 1 million fans in total, right now I have about 325,000 fans across the platforms. But to have 1 million fans across platforms, maybe I've got to use GEO. I've got to use some AI search. Maybe that's the answer. Anyway, I'm going to cut it there. 我现在会下播. Appreciate your support, you lovely, lovely fans. And I hope you all have a wonderful evening and weekend ahead. Take care. 加油. 新年好. Happy New Year. Happy New Year of the horse. Bye bye. 再见. Bye bye.